I'm Mr. Castro from Milton Middle School, and you're watching West Virginia History in 2 minutes or less. Today we're going to be talking about some early explorers of the area. You know, for a long time this area was unexplored because of how rugged it was. By the 1730s, people started exploring it. Let's check it out.
Abraham Wood was the first to look and send expeditions into Western Territory. In 1650, he and Edward Bland journeyed from Fort Henry through Occaneechi land and wrote it down in a pamphlet called The Discovery of New Britain. That later sparked curiosity in the land west of the Appalachians. Civil War in Great Britain briefly paused the push for exploration into the area. John Lederer is the first European credited with seeing West Virginia. He stirred curiosities documenting seeing the Blue Ridge Mountains. He saw 3 things that made many doubt his writings, but at least 2 can easily be explained, because at the time cougars were in the area as well as the peacock feathers being traded with the Indians in the south. Thomas Batts and Robert Fallon were sent by Abraham Wood, believing they could claim all the lands drained by waters they found. While traveling, they passed trees on horseback with letters carved on them, which was proof they weren't the first. They made it to the New River near Swope's Knob in Monroe County, claiming it for England by marking the trees. In order to increase trade and profits, James Needham and Gabriel Arthur were sent to cut out the middlemen and establish trade with the Cherokee. Needham was killed by his Indian guide, and Arthur was gone for a year, traveling to many other states, including modern West Virginia. Years later, Alexander Spotswood of Virginia set out to prevent the French and Indians from moving east. He set out with about 50 men. They went up through Swift Run Gap and to present-day West Virginia. Land was claimed for King George, and he commemorated it by giving golden horseshoes to the men, dubbing them Knights of the Golden Horseshoe. Although he is credited as the first settler of West Virginia, Morgan, a Welsh immigrant, arrived in 1731. There were many other settlers in present-day West Virginia, as many German and Scotch-Irish immigrants had settled the area. As settlement increased, French explorers also began to claim the area for their country in the Ohio Valley, such as Celeron de Blainville, who followed the Ohio River and buried lead plates to lay claim. Both France and England began building forts and other fortifications to mark their territory. Governor Dinwiddie sent 21-year-old George Washington to Fort Le Boeuf to ask the French to pack up and take a hike. They said no, and he was shot at on his way back. He ordered his men not to return fire because they may need Indians if war breaks out. The stage for the French and Indian War was set.